My mic is muted. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meatless Monday. I am so excited that you have decided to join us. Let me see if this looks a little better if I turn this light on. Let's see, maybe I need a little bit brighter of a. If that makes me start blinking on and off, then we'll take that off. Let's see what this one is. Is this a different one? Oh, that looks like a wall. Maybe I'll just use my real one, so we don't have any issues here. How is everyone? Welcome to Meatless Monday. I am so sorry for the delay. I had to make a quick run to the store to get our veggies, and I ended up stopping off for a sushi roll and to celebrate my raw sushi that I get. It's an avocado roll and cucumber roll, and it's wrapped in seaweed with no. Um, Whoops, let me turn that down. I've got that music playing. It's a sushi roll with no rice on it, and it's really good. And actually, once you like eat it that way, it's so weird because now, like when I try to like if they send me one with rice like the other evening they did by mistake, excuse me, what ends up happening, I was trying to peel the rice off of it and it was so like sticky and pasty. I'm like, I really can't believe I was even eating this. Now, for those of you who know why I'm doing this crazy raw journey, in April of 2019, well, I don't think it's crazy, and many people do it. However, in April of 2019, I decided that I saw this video called Raw, right? And Dawn, you look like you have a green square and your name is still mine. Let me change that for you.
I'm already doing it, baby.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I can hear you
Oh,
through
you
the
can hear
screen.
me. Oh,
Who was with you today doing that? Remember when you were
I wasn't
on?
in. Did you add me in?
Yes, I did.
Oh, see, that's why.
I'm
That wasn't
sorry.
my fault that time.
I forgot you can go in yourself. Look, I'm like not used to
hmm
being
I'm gonna go back
admin.
out and change my avatar now.
Okay, sorry.
Actually, I can do it
We
probably right
just
on
missed
from
you
here.
here, and we're excited to have you. Um, so what I wanted to say was, what was it that I wanted to say? Do you want me to take you out while you do
I
that?
must have to go out to do it. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
All right. So did I turn you? There she goes. Okay. We are having all kinds of issues. So I ran to the store. The phone ended up dying. So I was trying to reach out. It's so funny when you don't have your phone. We've had some phone issues between Dawn's getting stolen just recently and now this week this happened to me with the phone, so I'm like, okay, now mine has died. It is such an inconvenience when you don't have the phone. So what ended up happening was I was trying to get a message over to her to change the time because everything was just taking like too long. The store, I stopped to get the sushi roll, and I tried to take a quick bite of the sushi roll on the way home, and what happened was I tried to bite into it and the avocado is rock solid hard. So I feel like half of my life is spent trying to get a soft avocado. I love them so much. I use them for my fats, and we'll discuss what I've been eating here lately shortly. However, I wanted to say that in April of hey, welcome. We've got our awesome co-host J&J Video Reacts, also known as Dawn here, and she has. Oh, you're on mute. I can't hear you still. Maybe do I need to do something on my end? I see your thing moving, but I just unmuted you too. I wonder if you have to exit and come in now that you changed the avatar. Okay, we will get this together. But if while she's not in the room, I wanted to say please go over and subscribe to her channel. She has excellent, if you're into stock trading. She has a show that she calls Aftermarket that comes on at 5 o'clock every day faithfully if you want to discuss your trades and and how you did in the market and ask any questions to each other and kind of discuss best practices.
What about now?
And yes, we can hear you. I was just talking about your show for you. I was giving you a plug over there, and she has a lot of great people from ADT over there, and that's the American Dream Trading. And then also she does a show on Tuesdays, which I'm excited for, where it is about reality TV. So as I always say, I'm always watching educational videos on like digestion and nutritional plant-based videos and talking about the more serious stuff, even though I think it's fun. And so coming over there to get some release time, if you watch those 90-day drama shows, it's a great channel to come on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. So please get down. Our little kitten, our rescued kitten, is on top of the dresser. Um, Sometimes he'll see a bug up there, so he or something, like if he sees anything, a reflection on the wall flying on the ceiling, he'll think that the reflection from the lamp is something, and he'll run and jump up. I mean, if he sees a fly anywhere in the house, it is a major event. So I am really happy to be here. Welcome to Meatless Monday. Obviously, if you're catching the replay, you probably won't hear all the technical difficulties because I'll probably get it started right before I begin to announce my beautiful co host.
You
And
know what I was just thinking?
what?
Maybe they had a hard time finding soft avocados too, because I just ate mine and damn near broke broke it too.
They're gonna make us the cool thing is they're gonna make us a new one. They apologized, and when
Oh,
we get
cool.
finished the stream we can go get it, or we have a credit if we're too tired to go get it. I have um been raw for 90 days as of now, and let me go ahead and
Awesome.
it is a
Woo!
celebration. I mean, really, it is like it is something that I did, like I was gonna say, in April of 2019. I had saw a video called or a documentary called Raw, and it had like these stories of people that were healing everything from type 2 diabetes to allergies to cancer. I mean, they were healing all kinds of stuff. They were feeling a lot of energy, they were losing weight, they were healing digestive issues, they were losing weight. I don't even remember if I said that part. And that's the first thing I always discuss because everyone's trying to, it seems like lose weight, lose some pounds. And especially if you're getting ready to go into the holidays and you've had like a nice summer with a lot of vacations and maybe haven't ate like you should. When I did this, I was like, I'm intrigued by this. I just wanted to lose some weight. I did feel like I was just not at my healthiest at that time. I had always been, looking for a diet. I tried like Atkins, I tried all the traditional different, low fat, and I always didn't like the Weight Watchers, things like that, because you had to eat such a small portion. I like to eat when I eat. I don't eat that much. I was only eating one time in the evening. However, I continue to stay up at 185. And once when I was young, I was thin or thinner. And when I got in my 20s, all that fast food caught up to me and I started picking up weight, and the diets would make me go down, and then I would go up again because it was, never sustainable for me. So I saw these people and I was like, wow, okay, Woody Harrelson was on there. Dawn actually brought this documentary to my attention because she was going to grow microgreens. And I apologize to those of you who are not new, who have already heard this story a million times. Thank you for continuing to listen. Um, so what ended up
Okay, we
happening,
love it.
we love it. It's a good story, right? It's got a happy ending.
I love it.
Um, so Woody said that he had sat down next to a person, a lady on an airplane, the guy from Cheers, which I thought was like, wow, there's even a TV personality that I watched as a kid, and he said that he was broken out in a lot of like acne. He had a lot of allergies. And in fact, I just watched Misfit Vegan interviewed a guy who healed his long term asthma. He did this when he was 18 and he had asthma his whole life and he healed that. So, but Woody, back to him, he was healing. He like said, the lady said to him, "Oh, you have all these allergies. If your nose is all stuffy," and he just really was going through it all the time. And she said, "You need to get rid of dairy." And he was like on the video, like, dairy, like, what are you talking about? Dairy, we're supposed to eat it. It's does the body good and it's healthy for us. And he was like, I'll give it a shot, I'll try anything, because he had been to all kinds of allergy doctors and had really struggled as a teenager with the acne and everything. And within a week it was gone, never returned again. So from that point on, he was vegan and plant-based. However, he then came across a like thing that while he was eating, he realized that he would get tired when he ate cooked food, and when he ate raw food he would have lots of energy and just feel better overall. And so I went ahead and I was like, coming from the standard American diet, 42 years of meat, eggs, dairy. Eggs were one of my favorite things. Cheese was, I mean, I would go to the movies and get nachos, and I would make them give me an extra little container, like the actual lid. I would ask them just fill it up with cheese. So, I was definitely not someone who had ever experienced, I didn't even know what vegan was, the actual definition. I didn't even know it was a philosophy and a lifestyle at that point. I thought it was a diet, which now I understand plant based is what you would call the diet, basically. And vegan is also, it means you only eat no meat, no dairy, or you don't eat any animal products or use any animal products, and you want to do the least harm possible. It's a ethical thing. So for those of you who were like me and didn't even know that, so what happened to me was I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to buy a bunch of salad ingredients, a lot of vegetables. And I, at that point, that evening, April 5th, 2019, I decided to do this, and I ended up going raw, vegan, and I had nothing cooked. And I tried it for 3 days, and I was like, you know what, I'm feeling good. Like I could continue to do this. I would have this huge salad every evening. It became like a thing, like in the kitchen. I would set my, phone up on the thing and watch a health benefits of raw vegan and watch different vegan YouTubers. And I got into all the raw vegan groups, and I would watch nutritional documentaries because I became intrigued as to this whole thing like that I had never heard of. So I ended up really loving it, and I kept going. And I was like, I think I can go for 30 days once I hit a week or two. And by like that 30 days, it was really like I felt like I had found a miracle. It was summertime, or it was spring rather, and I ended up every year. I mean, since I was a little kid, I had really terrible chronic allergies, like pollen allergies. You can even ask my family if anybody, is watching the replay or anything, and they'll probably comment that, there was a running joke that I was always sniffly. Even as a kid, I had to have tissues. And um so this year, though, I didn't get that really bad cold that usually comes on at the beginning of summer. I didn't have um any issues like whatsoever with the with those allergies anymore. And is that a little bit, let me see if that would be brighter. If it doesn't start blinking, let me know if I start blinking out. I feel like I need more lighting or something in here. um so the next thing I know, that year my allergies never came on. I never walked outside and had itchy, watery eyes. I never had um, issues with like a cold. I never even had a cold. And in fact, 4.5 years later, you can ask Dawn, we have never gotten sick. Like, I have not had a cold, a flu through the whole pandemic. And there's probably a
Nope.
lot of factors in that because of, our the way that we eat with all the boosting of immunity. We take a herb called moringa, or a leaf called moringa that has a lot of antioxidants. Um, However, the cool thing is, and then so that wasn't the only thing. I had chronic back pain for like my entire, probably since late teens. I ended up all the time having to stretch out on the bed, have people pull on those muscles. Hey, Linda, welcome in. Welcome, Linda.
Linda
Um,
L. What's
Linda
up, honey
L,
pie?
thank you for joining. Sorry we got started so late if you joined earlier. And it was just all of a sudden one night I was doing those stretches that I had to do because I'd wake up in pain, I'd go to sleep in pain while I was moving around throughout the day. A lot of times it was good. However, if I sat for a long time, I ended up having, like, one night I'm like, I don't need to do these stretches anymore. I had, within 6 months, I had lost 50 pounds. I had reduced all the inflammation to get rid of chronic pain. I think getting rid of the dairy is what, from what I understand and everything I've read, is why I no longer have the allergies. And I think, just putting raw natural foods in your body, I think, is why I healed so quickly. Because even in 6 months, I realized, I feel like I've lost too much weight, and I wanted to go to I wanted to pick up some weight. I was like, I'm not used to being, I want to stay around 125. And I was astounded. I'm like, I've never had to eat to gain weight before. I'm always trying the other way, right? And those of you, like, women here who know what I'm talking about, you don't really ever, most of us anyway, don't say I need to gain weight. We're trying to always lose weight because we are not happy with our bodies. So and I guess, maybe that helped the back pain because I was overweight and that could have been weighing on it. However, it was like that before I picked up weight. So I think it definitely has to do with inflammation in the foods I was eating. And this was just this crazy blessing. I started a Facebook page. I didn't start the YouTube until years later. I ended up putting in rice, beans, whole type foods. I did eat some tacos. Like, I started, eating whole food, and then I ended up going into the vegan, processed goodies that they sell at the store, Gardein, and all these different Hellman's mayo, vegan mayo, and the Beyond Burgers. Like, I tried all of it, and they're really good. If you're looking for something that you need to replace, or if you're looking for something for the holiday, if you're serving people who've never been plant based, those are good substitutes. However, for long term, they do have a lot of high sodium, and for me, I just came to a point where I wanted to get back to whole foods because I felt like, I'd always tried to stay raw with a big salad no matter what I was eating. And as I ate that stuff and got into the salt intake, I started realizing I was using more salt. And a lot of the cooked food was taking over my big raw salad. I'd eat that first while at lunch while I was cooking, and all of a sudden I wouldn't eat my salad all the way. And that just wasn't me. So I went back to the whole food. And the way that that was 6 months in. And then so I was, raw vegan 6 months, went back to cook food. And on June 10th, we decided we were going to have a little movie night, and we got some popcorn and some pretzels. And it was just, that evening, it just, my stomach did not feel good. I had been eating, I felt like too much cooked food, even though I still felt good and my health conditions never came back. I said, you know what? I feel like I need to cleanse. I want to go raw because I felt like I was at my best then, and I started watching all the stuff that I had watched, and I rewatched the raw video, and it just all of a sudden something clicked, and I started researching how do I keep. I'm going to turn that background off because it is now starting my computer blinking. I should have left it off. Hopefully you guys can still see okay though. Let's see. Now what's going on with that? It won't leave me. I can't get it off. How do you get rid of it? Oh, maybe I'll have to stay with
I
it.
can't get him off my tail.
Oh, there it is. No background. There we go. I know, right? It was like, you will keep this background. And then so I ended up doing it. I just went raw, and I this time though researched. The minister of wellness had a lot of information on people healing with fruit, and that actually is how our body is designed to digest things the best. And I saw that on a couple of different things, and so I decided, because I heard that you can actually keep your weight up, if you eat more and you eat fruit, and you know what I mean, because fruit has those healthy carbs in them, and we don't realize that fruit can do the same thing for your body to sustain you, and the healthy sugars are actually how our body runs. And if you kind of look at our digestion, fruit uses the least amount of insulin. Fruit gives us the sugars we need to have energy. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to just increase my fruit, because the first time I was still like stuck in the standard American idea that fruit was bad and fruit was going to cause me like to have high sugar, and fruit was, something I should minimize when I'm on this diet. So I ate mostly veggies. And then the more I was researching, I just really became intrigued with the fruit based diet. So I ended up doing like 80%, maybe 90% actually, of my diet is now completely fruit. And I do eat some sprouts. I eat also lots of lettuce, and I was eating spinach, but even within this journey of 90 days, I've ended up cutting out the spinach because of the higher oxalates in it. And I really learned from Lauren Lockman, who has a wellness center in Costa Rica. He has a really good theory that we, are supposed to have the tender leafy greens like lettuce, and he heals people with that. So I've kind of modified it, and I eat like in the all day I'll eat like mangoes, watermelon. I just choose a couple of fruits. I eat very small mono diets, because I also learned from Doug Graham, who's going to be coming up, as well as Lauren and a couple of other raw vegans, that mono meals actually even digest better. It's eating one thing at a time. Like even if you eat 3 bananas, you can eat bananas, because your body, when you ingest it, it actually knows from your saliva, okay, this is what I am going to, I need this type of environment to dissolve this food. And so when you do that, it's already starting when you start to chew, and bringing it through your digestive system. And so your body just works less, and you end up having even more energy. So I feel like within this 90 days, I've even optimized it. I'll have fruit throughout the day, and then at night I've got lettuce, a lot of lettuce for minerals. I do some sprouts, whatever sprouts I can find. I do tomatoes. Oh my gosh, I'm loving these little cherry tomatoes, like a lot.
They are really good.
And cucumbers. And that is what I eat. And I have a picture of that. I sent her, I was going to use it for this, but that was an old picture from my first journey that we used for the thumbnail, where I had the really big salad. So I've made them a little smaller, or my plate's flatter. I don't know if it's smaller. I just didn't stack it up like that, right? So thank you, Dawn, for joining me and letting me, go through my journey. And it is working to, oh, I forgot one thing that I have to have is avocado. And that is my favorite healthy fat. And sometimes every now and then I'll have some walnuts. However, I can really feel in my digestion. I try to minimize the nuts as much as possible because I feel that everything is a lot smoother, and you'll have no idea, like when you do this, you'll be able to use the bathroom so easily. You won't deal with constipation, acid reflux, upset stomachs. You'll end up clearing up things that are going on, even if you do it as a cleanse. And I just truly feel, when I heard that we're the only animal that doesn't eat food in our natural state, that it's something clicked and said, yeah, I think I need to eat the foods how they come right out of off the ground, like the fruit on the trees. And Dawn, thank you for being part of this journey, and helping me to really, helping me to stay motivated, because you're always giving me these great, compliments. And I appreciate you being here to talk with me and talk about your journey too. um Maybe she walked away from her computer. That was a good time for me to stop. I'm like, let me not talk, I have a guest here. I just wanted to get through that. um oh, Linda, you love, oh, thank you. She said she's excited to hear my journey. I get excited about it, and um I just, I want to tell people, because, not only what the vegan plant based diet can do, but if you really want to optimize, or you have something you want to heal, or you want to eat really, really natural and get rid of all the processed foods, it will literally change your life, because I interview people where it did all the time. And Linda said she loves avocados and nuts. Oh my goodness, avocados, definitely your taste changes,
I
because
don't know what's going on with my sound, but it kept going in and out. So I just went out and came back in.
I think Restream is having an issue, because when I tried to come in, I couldn't even see the live stream. I had to go out completely of Restream and come in. And didn't something happen to yours on the stock trading show?
Yeah. Yep.
It's
So
crazy.
it knocked
Maybe
me. I had created the streams, went live, and then when I went back out of it to go retrieve like a picture or something to pull into it, I couldn't, like, the stream on the back end had disappeared. So I couldn't even
okay,
get it, like what it did to me that time before. But
right.
I had already started it this time.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. So,
That is really strange. I can
yeah.
tell I'm blinking. Not blinking like it was, but I'm just blinking. I don't know if you can see the light dimming and restarting.
Not at all.
Um,
Not on our end. Or
well,
I can't see it through here.
I was just welcoming you and thanking you. I think you saw it in the chat.
Yeah, I did. Thank you. I was saying, hey, I hear you, but my sound is gone. So you're welcome. It's been amazing to watch your journey, actually, and I remember when we watched the raw video together, and you really took the bull by the horn. I remember you listening to the videos in the kitchen every night and making salads, and you know what I mean? And I was eating them with you, and I'm still eating them with you, and even to this day, I'm just really, really impressed how you've come full circle right back to being raw vegan, and now eating mostly fruit. You've got me doing it. I've probably eaten more watermelon now than I've eaten my entire life. Just within the past week or so, Lauren Lockman has got me wanting to just do a mono diet of watermelon. I told Jen, I said, I'm going to take it one step further. I'm just going to eat watermelon, period.
Yeah,
And
and
for the
she's been
past,
doing primarily watermelon.
I
I
have,
mean,
I've eaten a few other things, but it's mostly watermelon. And I'm going to get to a point. I want to do something that I'm going to call October fast, where I want to fast for the month of October. So I'm leading into it with a mono diet of watermelon, and I'm just going to wind down off the watermelon, where that's the only thing I'm eating. And then I'm just going to wind it down from there and eat less and less as I get closer towards October. And then I'm going to fast for 31 days. So it's a pretty aggressive step, but I usually the most I've ever fasted was 20 days on my own, and I got through that fine. So we're gonna go for the 31 this time. October fast.
Talk about amazing. That was amazing. And Vaughn, welcome in. Thank you for joining.
Trader Vaughn,
Thank you guys.
what's
Both of
up?
these guys are from American Dream Trading, and they visit Dawn's show, and they've been so kind to subscribe and come over here, and they're listening to my health ramblings each week and our guests that we have. So I really, really, truly appreciate you
Love you
having an
guys.
open mind, to hear about this, because you never know when somebody's listening or someone you may know that may need this information. So I
I wish we
think
could get Christina over here.
I know it, as much as it oh my, do not mess with Dawn during that time. Oh right, yeah. Well, it was weird when she fasted before. She ended up in 3 days. She was like on the highest um
My energy level was off the
like it
chart. I
was
was in an awesome
crazy.
mood all the time. And for cancers, that's good because we're some moody people.
I thought the same thing, and I was like, I wasn't even vegan when she did this fast, which is crazy, right? And I
Yeah.
one night I was in the kitchen and I was trying. I didn't like to eat in front of her, and like she was respectful in the beginning until she realized that I could sit in front of her with a crab cake, her eating a crab cake, and me eating my salad, and I was perfectly happy. And I'm like, really, I don't want it. Once my taste changed and I saw the health changes, it's like I started thinking of food as fuel. But this particular night, instead of like, food and I was enjoying it, I was in the kitchen and I was trying, because she had already gone, I think this was like 20 days or something, or 10 days,
and the
something
and the
crazy.
intention was to go vegetarian afterwards. That's why I started wanting to grow my own vegetables and started watching all these health videos. And little Miss Muffet over here took the shit and ran with it.
Little Miss.
She's like, yeah, I think I will watch that video. And she watched it. Next thing I know, she's a raw vegan. Yeah, go raw it with me. And I'm like, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. You know what I mean?
I
And I
think that,
stayed vegetarian for a while. No, didn't I continue to eat meat for like probably another couple of months?
well, yeah, and
I
then
whittled
I
it
was
down to
saying,
chicken.
I think you did eat some chicken, and then I remember you saying, and this is the thing, you can't like push other people. That's why I give the information, I tell my journey, and I share that of others. And I never push anybody because everyone has to do that on their own time. And when she saw me, how excited I was about this, and saw me reading her, I would send her different things. She actually was like, I think I want to do that. And I started making her this huge salad. I think is how it started. You
Yep,
had
you
your
started
regular.
making it for both of us.
Mm-hmm. And then you finally come, and she went raw. And then you ended up, what, about 6 months in or so? You.
Complete. Yep. I went raw, but I went to a point where well, no. I was vegetarian and I still ate some chicken, but then you showed me the video by Gary Yourofsky, and then that's what made me completely give up meat in March of 2020. So you started in April of 19, and I went fully vegan, well, fully vegetarian, no meat whatsoever, in March of 2020. And what ended up happening was I continued to eat pizza, but I got rid of everything else. I wasn't into the butter or eggs or milk, and I never was really into eggs like that anyway. I could drink milk, but I remember you turning me on to Almond Breeze almond milk and
Mhm.
saying, yeah, you can we were eating cornflakes. I remember we got on a cereal kick and we were
Yes.
eating cornflakes, and that's what turned me on. I'm like, this milk is good. And you're like, yeah, it's almond milk. And you were drinking the silk, and then you also found the almond breeze, and I like the taste of the almond breeze better. So yeah, I'm like, holy, I like almond milk. I don't ever have to drink regular milk again. And then we found the vegan butter. So it was like, but I'm not like real big on butter, you know what I mean? So
But
you
country
know.
crock is good if you're looking for a substitute to put in your foods, because none of that stuff actually, it might not be the, I don't like to eat a bunch of processed food now, but it actually has no cholesterol, which animal products, and they are actually now shot with so many hormones, and antibiotics, because they are in horrid conditions. And once it's already in the package, like we learned this 6 months in, and she's going to probably tell the story soon about what they did to the cow. But I started to learn that actually, because our bodies weren't meant for to eat that, our digestive system, the fat was causing insulin resistance, which was actually the root cause of people's type 2 diabetes. And I was hearing, to answer Vaughn's question, she said, it's she, right? Or did you say it was he? Did you
I'm
ever tell me?
I think Vaughn is a woman.
Okay, I think I had mentioned that last time, and I was like, okay, I still don't say the right name, or the right pronoun, I guess.
Hmm.
But she said, what did they say about chicken, which made you quit that altogether to you? And I think it was about the cow, right? I don't think it was.
Yeah,
It was
well,
chicken.
when you showed me the Gary Yourofsky video, it was Gary Yourofsky showed this video where he was talking at a college and he was talking to these kids about why they should stop eating meat. And they were literally abusing these cows. They showed one guy just kicking and punching a cow in the head. The cow wasn't even fighting back, it was just mooing, and it was getting ready for slaughter. And I thought, what was the point in that? Why are you like hurting the cat? Like, you're gonna kill it anyway, or you're gonna, you know what I mean? Why are you punching the cow in the head? He was just punching on the cow, abusing it. And I immediately burst into tears. I got so overwhelmed with emotion that I swore off meat from that point. I said, I'm not supporting an industry that would do that to animals, and I felt like a hypocrite at that point, because I'm like, well, I've been eating meat all this time, but I didn't know anything like that was going on. And I mean, most people don't. So it
Exactly.
moved me enough to stop me from eating meat completely. And I haven't eaten meat since. And then with the pizza thing, even though I wasn't eating any dairy other than pizza, I noticed that I still had a little bit of mucus in the mornings. I'd wake up, I'd have a little bit of congestion in my chest. It wouldn't take much for that to kind of, go away throughout the day, because I was, vegan for the most part. But with the pizza still being in my diet, I I said, you know what, I gotta let this go, Jen. I want to be fully vegan. I want to be able to say I'm fully vegan. So I let it go August of last year. So it's been over a year now, and I haven't had any pizza. So yeah, I've been fully vegan for a year. No dairy, no meat, and I love it.
When
Even when I
she's
veer off and eat the occasional Beyond Burger or Impossible Burger, or I'm eating some corn chips, and it's not hurting me as much as it would as if I was constantly eating that food. You know what I mean? Because I'm so clean now inside. So, and that's another reason I want to try, because I haven't gone as far as she has with just straight raw vegan for 30 days or more. I still have yet in all these years to pull that off. So I'm determined to do that. And I'm just going to start with a fast, clean my palate. And then November, I'm going to start in with fruit, just fruit.
and there's plenty of versions of this where you can be healthy. So, like, the one thing that I found was, I always thought that the potatoes and the rice were what puts weight on me. Remained at 125 every night, eating a big bowl of rice. Even when I went through the phase of eating the Gardein chicken, that if you're craving chicken, they have these chicken patties that taste like Chick-fil-A. I was eating a lot of beans and a lot of potatoes. I would eat a baked potato, and it really never put weight on me. I would fluctuate a little bit. Obviously, when I'm raw, I'm much lighter because I'm not eating as many calories. But at this point, I've still maintained my weight raw after the first initial cleanse, and I'm doing mostly fruit instead of the potatoes. But you can eat a lot of different things, and tofu and different things actually you can make if you decide to stop eating meat. And for me, I couldn't believe, like, for some reason I had this like epiphany about 6 months in. I saw this meme or whatever, like how she saw a video, and I saw that animals experience fear, or cows experience fear and smell the blood of the people that are the other animals, and they experience fear just like your pets. And like I had never really connected that, and I don't think we do, because it's like cows meant to eat the way I grew up, and you're meant to keep cats and dogs as pets, and I never really made the connection. So I think that's why I've been able to sustain it and never really cheat like a diet, unless it's a vegan cheat. And I found out that stuff was good. They had butter, mayo, everything I needed that actually tastes good. I mean, you have to try different products, different cheeses, and when you find one you like, you can always have that cheat meal when you want it. But I never, oh, I love sour. They have two kinds that is really good that I was eating on my baked potatoes when I was eating. I have a video. If you scroll back before I went raw again, I have a video called My Top Dairy Replacements, where I literally tried all the nasty tasting ones and the good ones. And I put a video of like even cheesecake. I put two different brands of sour cream. I think Forager and Two Foodie. I think they have really good, and most places now, like Walmart's and things, like if you don't want to go completely raw, I think what helped me though was doing that for that time. At least if you do it for a week, like Dawn's doing the watermelon to get ready for the fast and winding out of food, I did that, and I guess I did it backwards. Most people go, they start trying the vegan products, and then they go vegetarian, and eat still eat milk and cheese, and then they go vegan, kind of like the progression that most people go. And I just kind of did it backwards. I went all raw, and I think that helped kickstart me of getting my palate cleared of all the regular stuff that I
You
was
know
eating.
something, Jen? I think if you hadn't done that initially, it would have been much harder for you to do it now.
I think so. I think
But
because I
because you had
knew.
already experienced the benefits of it and realized you loved it and felt good doing it, it was easy for you to go home.
Me too, Vaughn. I love baked potatoes. I mean, that potatoes were my thing.
Potatoes are my arch nemesis.
Mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, French fries. I could eat them anyway. I sound like
I'm
Forrest
a
Gump.
potato addict.
That's
I
what.
cannot
Yeah, she
can't
loves potatoes.
I cannot eat potatoes because I will get on a potato kick anyway. You like French fries, baked potato salad, of course with Hellman's vegan mayo. Um, I mean any way you can think of to eat it. Fried potatoes and onions with some avocado oil. Oh my God! Any way you can think of to eat a potato, I do that. I cannot start myself on it because I'll just want potato after potato. I'm addicted to them. I love them.
I have a if you're interested, I know not tonight because now Dawn's made everyone want potatoes. But and we now it's like, oh, and then you're talking sour cream. I'm like, but if ever want to try either the plant-based, do it for a little while and try some different things and see how it is, because a lot of stuff will heal that you have going on. If you have kids, like I was saying, the guy who have like any kind of allergies or asthma or anything like that, a lot of people heal different digestive, like we've healed, talked to people who've healed rheumatoid arthritis and different really chronic things they've dealt with for years. And it's just weird because when you start putting, like, taking out the meat and dairy, you don't realize that how much that might have been making you feel bad, which is why I like to tell people. And the cool thing is, if you want, I have a free meal plan that outlines exactly, it has what selections you can have for fruit, for lunch, and what I eat for dinner. And if it's like, I have a bunch of information in there, like even what each thing does, like tomatoes have natural sunscreen, and cucumbers detoxify. And I put a lot of information, my journey, how I came to the mono diet. So I'm going to post that in the comments and the description. It's just fill out your email, and it took me like 5 days to write all of it. It was supposed to be a simple meal plan, and it ended up being like so much information, because as you can see, I'm wordy. I can't get used to those
No.
fried sweet potatoes. Yeah, like Dawn liked them for a minute. I thought it was like too close to the regular potato. I'm like, I'm not feeling the sweet. And, even with ketchup, I couldn't get, like you said, it was different. It was a different potato, but it wasn't like I could replace a French fry with it. What do you think, Dawn? Did you like sweet potato fries? I forget.
Yeah, it depends on where. I remember Mother's Cantina had them, and I liked them because they would, I guess, season them up really good. And I tried doing fried potatoes and onions with sweet potatoes, but for whatever reason, it just did not feel the same way it did. It didn't taste the same way it did with regular potatoes, obviously. But I mean, even I'd put a little bit of salt on there and some ketchup, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like I had to eat them differently than the regular. I did really get into sweet potatoes for a while though. Speaking of them, I would
I
bake them
remember that you
and
had
I
your
put
cinnamon, vegan
cinnamon.
butter. Yep,
Yes, and cinnamon and vegan butter on it. That's how I like sweet potatoes
that was
because
like
I'm
a
used to
dessert.
Thanksgiving. Like we made this big Thanksgiving feast and took it to my mom's this past Thanksgiving that was all vegan and people were intrigued by it. They were like, "That looks like real turkey," and we got this like Gardein makes strips, and then we had ended up getting what was that? It was called something life or something. I'll have to look the old posts.
Light life.
No, it wasn't light life. That was the bacon, but um I can't remember what it was, but it was really good. Like it tasted like dark meat chicken, and then the slices from Gardein, they tasted like the white meat. So we almost had. I have a picture of it. If anybody wants to just like learn more information, like I post a lot of stuff like here's what mangoes have in it, and what they can do for you. They actually have vitamin C. I'll post if like just if you want different information or to watch stuff, and you don't have to be vegan to join to get, the Facebook page. It's Vegan Knowledge group, and it's just like a group where I help people that are interested in it. Most of the people on there are not completely vegan, and I think that's important, even if you want to like increase your, the less meat intake if you're trying to cut down on cholesterol. I've had people on there that have reversed high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes. And it's really, to me, it started with a diet to try it for 3 days, and it's become my passion. And I really hope to at some point do health coaching and courses and things as a living in the next 5 years is like the plan. So
Keep
I love
speaking it
it.
into existence, honey.
Yeah, I think that would, be something I could really get excited about every day because I do it anyway. That's what I do. Like every minute I'm either on a Facebook Live talking to the group, seeing how everybody's doing, helping somebody on chat or messenger, trying to, explain to them if they have a question about something, telling my journey, sharing this meal plan now, which is cool. So I can, share other information. And like I really am going to start like a coaching a support type group, like a course, so that it'll be like 6 weeks long. And I think, when you find something you're passionate about, like you guys have found trading, I hear you guys, you can stay on there from like all the way in the morning until 8, 9 o'clock at night. And sometimes you guys have to cut yourselves off then. And I'm like, that's how I am, if you can imagine, about this stuff. So if I can help you or anybody in your family, let me know and just tell them to message me. I have email, I'll put everything in here. And I do it because I want to help people. um, Thank you, Vaughn. She said that would be nice. And yeah, like everything you could think of has a vegan version, right? Dawn? Like even if you don't want to go completely raw.
Right. Yeah, it's so crazy because I was sitting here giggling at myself talking about the vegans, the Hellman vegan mayo. It's like everything like lunch meat. They have lunch meat that tastes so good. It's not even lunch meat. It's like soy, but it tastes like ham. you know?
Yes, it's
So
weird. I was stunned because I would say when we used to talk about like, oh, it's one of those weird people that don't eat meat. Like, and so I was like, I
yeah.
bet like stuff all tastes like crap or like plastic or
And it
something.
used to. That's another thing that was in Gary Yourofsky's video was he gave a lot of suggestions on if you're trying to go plant-based, if you're not quite yet ready to just go all raw or whole foods, but you want to mimic the food that you're eating now, there's a vegan version of it. Like Beyond Burgers tastes so good. And they also make morning sausages. Beyond makes sausage as well that tastes just like sausage. So, and it's chickpeas that they have reconfigured to have the texture of meat. So it's garbanzo beans, which are also known as chickpeas. That's what Beyond Burgers are made out of. So that's why it's plant-based. And but see, it's processed. So as with anything, you've got to look at processed food just like anything. It's not a bunch of that is, I don't care plant-based or not. A whole bunch of that's not good for you either, which is the stance that Jen has now taken, even though she was eating that stuff with me before. And now we're both of the mindset like, okay, it's good once in a while. She's not eating it all. I don't mind having it here and there. I'm still just like how it was originally when she went all raw and I still would eat meat. I still will have a Beyond Burger or an Impossible Burger from time to time. But I definitely see the benefits of being all raw. You
Hmm.
know,
I
I've
feel
done
like
it for a couple weeks at a time and I love it myself. I just haven't been able to stay consistent with it.
it's like when you get like it's almost like your sense of like I feel calmer, I feel like my skin feels better, you'll lose weight if that's what you want. Like I think it's good to do raw cleanse anyway, and I'll probably be like this forever. However, like if you're trying to do, I think there's different versions like I said, and if you don't want to eat all processed, there's different ways you can get things like rice and beans. I was saying you could put when we had lentils, that was like
Oh
if we
my
put
God, those were
different
good.
sauces on the lentils and put them on rice or put them in a even if you do a stuffed pepper, let's just say, you could literally use different beans and things to kind of replace your meat.
Listen,
So
those of you that are Taco Bell fans out there, here's what you do. You get yourself a bag of lentils from the grocery store. Write this down, right? Get a bag of lentils, throw them in a pot of water. Just throw the whole bag in there. And of course, not the plastic, but throw the whole bag of lentils in there. Rinse them off like twice. Fill your, like one of those Dutch oven quart type pot. Yeah, fill that about halfway up. Completely cover the lentils and rinse them like twice, and then completely cover them, and then even give it a little bit more. You don't want to fill the pan up, but fill it a good halfway, right? And put them on let them come to a boil, and then put them on low heat for about 45 minutes, right? And I'm telling you, once you're done, get yourself some El Paso taco seasoning and put it in there and stir it up really good, and get yourself some soft tortillas. You got Taco Bell beef tacos. It tastes just like it. Just
definitely.
like it. The
And throw
texture,
some of that
everything.
sour cream I recommend on there, and your family will be like, "Wow, we're feeling better." And it's like it's levels. When you stop eating the regular standard
You
American
start
diet,
learning other stuff that you can do with the vegetables and the beans and stuff to make it take, like, you don't need to buy a processed, like I just made my, oh wait a minute, Jen, I gotta tell them about the tuna.
yeah.
Chickpea salad, okay, mimics tuna fish. If
Look,
you
if
get
you
a can
open a can of chickpeas now that she's made that real quick, I'm like, I literally now smell tuna when she opens the chickpeas. And I never smelled that before. Of course, I never ate them. It's just weird now when you see that. It's like even the juice that you drain off, I look at it now.
yeah, garbanzo beans actually have a fishy smell and taste. So, like, you get yourself a can of garbanzo beans, drain the fluid off of them, grind them up with some celery and onion, put some vegan mayo in there, and I'm telling you, get some of the dried up seaweed leaves that literally taste just, I mean, they it's like somebody skinned a fish, okay, and dried up its skin. You put that in there and you grind that up in there, and you got vegan tuna fish. It's so good.
Yeah, and I was telling her, she said she was got potatoes to make potato salad, and I was like, you could actually replace that with Hellman's vegan mayo, and that's going to automatically help you start to lower cholesterol, just replacing all your dairy with dairy products,
Vegan
and then
option, right?
if you can then incorporate, some people do like a raw, like throughout the day, like you could do fruit for lunch, and I guarantee you'll have so much energy. And then if you just do your cooked meal for dinner, you do fruit and salad, like just try to go raw up to a certain point, even adding, if you do that, like replace some of your meat and dairy, and the meat, if you try some of those and use
Remember
beans.
the breakfast I made a few months ago?
Yes, I have a video of it. It's on the shorts, and we put the recipe up there. She made like a French toast breakfast. Like,
I
it
had
was
just a
crazy.
couple of bottles of just egg, and I dipped
Hmm.
the toast in it. It acts just like egg, tastes just like egg, but it's the vegan version of egg, and it's liquid. And I had it in the bowl. I put the bread in there, put it in the frying pan, and let it put a little bit of avocado oil in there. No, it was some vegan butter that I put in there, and fried it up in the pan, put some syrup on it, had some Beyond sausage, had another pan full of just egg with it actually just stirring it around. It's just like comes out just like scrambled egg, and I had like vegan French toast bread. I mean, it tasted like regular breakfast that I grew up with.
Did you talk about the they have like, oh, the just egg? That's what you used, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep. Linda said she likes sweet potatoes better than sweet potato fries, but they are good. Yeah, I like them
Yeah, me too, Linda.
in the
Yeah, I
whole
can sit
form.
there and eat a potato. I'll put a little bit of vegan butter and some cinnamon on it, and I'll go to town on that. I love that.
So I think that I want to do.
And
Oh
cinnamon is
yeah,
a superfood. Cinnamon's healthy for you.
it really is. It actually, I believe that I read when we were eating the sweet potatoes, it like can lower blood pressure, and level out. Like I forget what it was. I think it can even relax your mood too. Obviously, it's probably doing all of that. I realized that every, especially like every vegetable and every fruit has like a certain nutrient in it. And what I ended up finding was that, these fruits and things, they have things in them that are antioxidants that can really truly change your cells, so they can reverse, if you have those genes that might have been trying to develop anything, cancer or other ailments. They actually have been known. There's a study, I have it on my Facebook page. I'll try to link it in the description, that showed they can actually change the structure of your cells. And they do so many things. They actually can, they're like anti-aging. They can reduce, like I said, reduce inflammation. And like so many plants have different vitamins in them that do different things. Like there's a bunch that actually can help you improve your eyes if you have cataracts, and it'll also prevent those things. And I think that's the important thing, is looking at food, how you can use it, not only enjoy it, but use it as fuel to really put all the good stuff. Because when I found out, okay, if you don't cook it over a certain amount, it has the most raw ingredients. I mean, it has the most nutrients. And when you start to cook it, in some cases you're destroying the nutrients. So that's why I decided, you know what, I want to keep a high amount of raw. So even when I was eating the cooked foods in the evening, which a lot of people do, I still kept a high amount of the diet raw. However, some of them you're still getting those nutrients. You know what I mean? You may not get the ultra concentrated. And I just say, you know what? I think it's great however you improve your health. You will end up, from if you go from this level of eating everything to cutting out some of the meat, or if you can cut out all of it, and you delve into it, and you go in and you watch stuff on it, and you become and increase your raw, you'll actually see how good you feel. So then it becomes like something that is easier because it's not something you're forcing yourself to do, or not something that you're looking at, oh, this is what I can't have. You're looking at, oh, this is what I have, and this is what I eat, and this is how good it is, and you'll be sharing recipes in the groups. It's just like anything else you get in a habit. Dr- um, Guilty of drowning the sweet potatoes with sugar. Yeah, like for
Oh,
me, the cinnamon, the butter actually, because I think my taste was cleared out of a lot of salt and sugar. When I eliminated it for a while, literally something like that would seem sweet to me. You know how, like, if you stop
oh, brown
drinking regular
sugar,
soda.
right? Like they have a brown sugar thing at Outback. I remember we used to get that every now and then. They have like a brown sugar topping.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. It. Yes, I remember that. That is good. I never thought of doing that on there. We had so many things during that period of time, though. I was finding all kinds of stuff. Like I said, if you want some vegan cheap products, I definitely did all the meat and all the dairy ones. We had this, I think it was cheesecake. I can't remember the names of all of them now. And Tate's cookies. Remember, Mom brought us those that at Christmas?
Yes.
And we went nuts over them. So there is some, good stuff. Do I recommend eating that as your main diet? It depends. Like if you're already eating the standard American diet, you can replace it with some of those items and you're still going to be healthier. What do I recommend? Because everything I've decided to do, like for myself, I love just eating the fresh whole, foods, and then taking it a step further, going one beyond that and going into taking it to a raw version, which is what I've been doing for 90 days, which is how I'm doing my journey. Oh,
That's
but
so awesome.
I did this banana and nut
Are
shake.
you still doing that?
What?
The banana walnut shake?
Yeah, I did it last night too, and I'm thinking though, I felt like I was kind of not having as good of well, I guess you get used to eliminating. I don't know to talk about it. It's kind of nasty. I feel like when I eat nuts, though, I don't feel like my body is like flowing as good. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I
Yeah.
think I was increasing too many nuts in it because I started trying to thicken it. So if you just take like a handful of nuts and like two bananas, depending how many people are going to eat it, put it in a food processor, make it smooth, throw it in the freezer for like 15 minutes. It literally started tasting like banana nut ice cream, and it's good. I'm gonna probably have it tonight, just less nuts in it. And we got to make sure you drink lots of water too, I think, because when I eat less fruit, I'm not getting, water is naturally hydrating. So I mean fruit, so like watermelon has a really high content of water. So if you're one of those people that doesn't drink a lot of water, you're probably dehydrated, because most of us are. Like most people that they test, like especially I think Lauren said when they come into the wellness center, they're severely dehydrated. They have some kind of test they can take. So make sure you increase water and increase those vegetables with fruit, and you'll automatically feel better and feel your skin feel better, and different things like that. And you'll it was funny, me and Dawn always laugh, you'll smell better too. Like I don't wake up like, or like if you go, like you're sweating and stuff, it actually is weird. I don't know what it is, and maybe it's the flesh. I don't know. It makes you smell like decaying sometimes, right? Or I've smelled people in the store. This poor person that used to help wait on us. Guilty of drowning. Oh, I read that. Oh, and she said so. Beyond is a good product. So yeah, I think we liked it. It seemed the most like a regular burger to me anyway when I was eating the processed food. Dawn, you're kind of started cheating on Beyond with some Impossible. Do you
Yeah,
still like
only
it?
because like if I had to buy it, I buy Beyond. But if we're like, I don't know, maybe a road trip or something, or I just feel like ordering some fast food, I'll order Burger King's Impossible Whopper meal. And that is I mean, I just had to wean myself off of that because I was getting one of them like every day. So it's like I'm leading into this. That's what another reason why I'm fasting. I want to completely clear my palate. I'm going to probably go through withdrawals, but I'm going to have to withstand it and completely clear. Because when you clear your mental palate, you can clear your physical palate as well, and vice versa. So in me withstanding not eating anything, it'll just completely cleanse me of even wanting to eat anything. You know what I mean? Not
Yes.
just cravings. So
And
yeah,
I think like we were saying too, emotionally and focus wise, it really helps when you cleanse out like that. Like your energy level, my energy
yeah.
was like through the roof when I went vegan, and then even eating cooked food vegan, it was higher. And then when you go raw, it's like you're at a different level. You just feel more grateful, and I don't know what it is, why you feel calmer, but I always feel that way. Like even I work in customer service, things don't, that they'll don't bother you as much. And it's likely just due to the nutrients, because everything has vitamin. And so like when you're not getting something or your body needs something, it doesn't run optimally, and it all goes all the way to brain health too. You just you end up feeling better overall. And I'm proud of you, Dawn. Your journey has been, very inspiring. There's a couple things that you had struggled with that you overcame, and you forget like when you're like, I can't stay raw or this or that, you don't want to forget those major improvements. Rather, you eliminated animal products, which is going to reduce your risk for all kinds of disease, and it's going to not have you getting high cholesterol and things like that. Because as we get older, it's important for us to live that second half of life, I think, as
You know what
best.
I like? I like the fact that with this type of diet, it doesn't take long to feel good again. Remember that I said I was starting to feel a little tired from eating all the Impossible Burgers?
Mm-hmm.
That's completely gone now. My energy level just after 48 hours of eating primarily watermelon has returned. Like I feel so good right now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It doesn't take long, and it helps that I was already plant-based. It's not like I'm overcoming eating dairy and meat with this watermelon. I've already not been eating that stuff. So to then and even that meal is a vegan meal. So it's like because all of that base saturated fat and salt and sugar and all that's gone, now it's like, okay, a couple days of watermelon, I'm right back to, okay, yeah, ready to climb a mountain. You know what I
Right.
mean? It doesn't take long at all.
How do I get that picture to come? Like I have a little. I think I'm trying to share the picture of my salad, but I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. I meant to bring that in. I'll do it for you. Hold on. The
Okay,
one
I
that
got
you
it
took the
already in the
picture of,
thing.
because I
It's
already saved
already
it to my
in.
phone. Okay, that's what I mean. It's like you gotta go out and come in order to. It's
Oh,
weird how Restream works.
you see it over
But
there
you
where
know
it
what?
says.
I don't
Oh, I
see
put
it,
it as
but
logo. That's what I did. I'm new at this.
oh. But I actually saved it to my phone. If you want, I can go ahead and add it in and then go out and come back in.
Okay. Wait a minute. Let me try one more thing though. I think I might be able to get it. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
I just put it in. Oh, we both just did it.
Ah, nice. Okay, so let's see. There it is.
Hey, wait a minute. I realized I don't have to go out and
Yeah, I
come back
didn't go
in
out either.
with this phone.
Right. That's pretty cool,
Okay,
huh?
so you know what? I tell you what, because that's confusing. Let me take this background out. There you go.
Okay. This is what I basically have. I'm getting ready to have to eat, and maybe my sushi roll if they don't close before I get there. But I get the sushi with no rice, with lots of avocado and cucumber packed inside the seaweed. But I do avocado, which is here. I do lots of lettuce. You can't really see the cucumbers too good. I have some mung bean sprouts on there, and these cherry tomatoes. They're called sweet top. Dude, I don't know what is going on with them. But they taste like a fruit version
They're
of a grape. I
really
mean,
good.
it's like you could just eat them, you know? I used to eat tomato sandwiches. Anyone do that with like lettuce, tomato, or salt and pepper and mayo on them? And it's like these tomatoes would have been really good for that. But now I
They
used to
weren't calling them cherry tomatoes. Now they call them grape tomatoes. They
I
remind me
think
of
they have
grapes.
both now still. But these remind me of grapes, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. Pop one in there, they just burst in your mouth.
I'll take like lettuce, and I try to eat things. I usually eat it one thing at a time a lot of times, but sometimes I like a bite all together. Like I'll eat some cucumber and some tomato and avocado, those three, and then wrap it in some lettuce. It's so good, and I eat it like a veggie tray like this. It's like having a party with my salad every evening. And then throughout the day I'm eating, like I said, like I'll do, usually I've been doing mango for lunch, or I'll do grapes, or maybe some blueberries or avocado. Even sometimes, if I'm really hungry, I'll do like a couple of bananas. They tend to fill me up a lot. And I like saving them for my dessert at night. We were having, what else have we had? Watermelon, of course, cantaloupe. That's one of my favorites. And I love I don't like super sweet fruit, but you can find so many different versions, like so many grapes and
Yeah, we've been eating a lot of grapes and
green
also
grapes are good.
the mandarins.
Yes, I couldn't think of. I'm like, we have so much fruit. I'll have to get a picture of all of that. And then like you fill up, on that for your breakfast if you eat it. I don't even eat breakfast. I don't eat till like 2. I've just always not been a real big breakfast person unless it's like vacation.
Yeah.
Um, so wait, do you dress your grape tomatoes with like vinegar or something? So like the weird thing, and I was eating corn and olives, but I recently heard something that they don't have, like they're manipulating the corn in some way around here. It's not really local. I couldn't get any, so I decided, what I meant to get was some sugar or snow peas. I don't think I'll add those in too, because they're actually a fruit. Um, and like I
I
was
love
taking
those.
a little bit of balsamic. I've tried like different dressings. Like Dawn likes this one that we found, which isn't the greatest because I stopped eating processed food for me now, but it was good. It was by who was that?
It's
Newman's Own.
Newman's Own classic oil and vinegar, or I eat Kraft balsamic vinaigrette. I
And
usually mix the two.
if you like if you like ranch, um Hidden Valley makes a vegan ranch that to me is the best one I
It's
found, because a
not
lot of
half
the other
bad.
ones do not taste good, trust me. And you can also make a lot of things. Like I'm getting ready to try this dressing, I think. And what I was going to say is, now I've gotten to a point where I don't even want dressing on it. It's really strange because I used to like eat more dressing than salad. But I'm gonna try this one with, I'm gonna take some of those grape tomatoes. I got a sweet pepper, which is actually a fruit too. um like the orange or yellow, I can't remember which one I got.
You
And I'm
got
gonna,
yellow. I saw it. It's really cool.
you can add like balsamic in it if you want, and or avocado will like smooth it out, or you can even put a couple of walnuts. Like you can put all that in the food processor, and you can, if you don't want to buy dressing, you can actually save money. Like they have, some people do like a raw version of ranch, and a lot of people have recipes for dressing. I can get you some if you want. Misfit Vegan said something interesting today that I'm going to try. She said, because sometimes I do feel like I want a little tanginess. She puts some lime on top of like her salad with avocados, and when she mixes it all up, it actually gives it like a tangy type, like a good taste to it, that I guess she's gotten used to. But I really want to perfect the dressing, because I used to dip my veggies in dressing, and I kind of like miss that sometimes doing it like a veggie tray. So I'm gonna try to come up with some like dressings. And I was eating the Newman's own dressing, and I had this one I like, this raspberry vinaigrette organic. It was by, gosh, Broswell's, I think. It came in like this carafe looking thing. It was
It
like a
was a
glass
glass
bottle.
bottle.
So yeah, Vaughn, me too. It ranch was like I never ate anything. I never did balsamic unless they didn't have any ranch or ranch that I liked. So ranch was, and I found if you do that vegan ranch a lot of times, put like a little bit of salt and pepper on it. That made it to me taste even better because they don't. Some of them don't season it as much as like regular ranch, with all the stuff in it. But you can make it if you, like Dawn said, they have good like almond milk and things. I'll try to find a ranch recipe to send over to you. If you're not that kind of cook and you just want to buy it, I would recommend the Hidden Valley. I think I might have said it's Hellman's Vegan Mayo, and Hidden Valley was the ranch that we liked.
Right.
Um, and I think a little bit of balsamic, if you put that in there, would be good too. Sometimes people just like, a little bit of olive oil and balsamic, but I've found that I don't want to eat like a lot of the oils and things. I just feel better cleaned out. I'm just like a whole new level, like a different version of this where I've gotten my palate cleared out, but I understand because I would, in my opinion, like sometimes you just feel like what you want. Like you want to make it enjoyable. That's what I say, make it so you're excited about the food. Dawn likes onions on her salad. I don't eat any
I like
onions.
onions on any and everything.
I used to have so much stuff on the
That's the
salad.
only topping I would get on my pizza was onion.
I used to have I'll what else? I used to have not only corn, but a lot more what was the other stuff? I used to have carrots in there, celery, all kinds of stuff on
You
there.
put
I've
carrots,
simplified
celery,
it.
corn, olives, alfalfa sprouts, mung bean
Sometimes
sprouts,
seaweed even in there. Right. Mung bean. I love mung
avocado.
bean
You had
sprouts.
so much stuff in there.
And you wonder, some people are like, where do you get protein? Like all the vegetables and fruits have protein in it, and in fact studies have been linked to like a too high of an intake of protein is starting to, they believe, causing memory loss, and it can
Alzheimer's,
cause liver issues and yeah,
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's. So I think, in my opinion, we've been like program. It's like you have to get rid of all the myths because it's so crazy when you find out. I'm like, so there, you just have to eat more of it. Obviously, like cholesterol is only made by animals, and especially bad cholesterol. So when you're eating, maybe you have to eat less meat to get, your nutrient of protein. It's more concentrated, but you're also getting all the other crap with it. So like for me, I just would rather eat things high, like avocados are one of the highest protein fruits that there are, and everything has a little bit in it. So with me eating a lot of this, I'm always getting protein, like, and I'm always getting enough iron and all the nutrients that a lot of times you're told you have to eat, with meat. The only thing is there's a little bit of question about, because like animals and a lot of the products that you use like rice and things, they're all fortified with B12. And so I've kind of gone back and forth on that. Some people say you don't need to take a supplement. I think if you're doing this just to, especially at first, it doesn't hurt to have yourself like tested the levels and make sure, because we've taken B12 on and off. I'm not taking it right now. I cleared out of all the supplements, and I'm trying to get sunlight each day for the vitamin D. And back B12 is actually a bacteria. It's not even like something that has to be produced by an animal. It's in sea vegetables. However, a
The
lot of
human
people,
body produces it as well.
yeah, and the human body makes it like in the gut, which I had no idea. So, you know, either way,
The
that's
human
the only
body also
thing.
produces protein. We just supplement protein. We don't need massive amounts of protein. The human body also makes protein.
Yeah, it breaks everything down, and the proteins are everything. We are
Yeah.
protein,
Yep.
basically, aren't we? Um, and so I think, for me, it just makes the most sense to get all your nutrients, get the most nutrients you can. Like if I know all this stuff prevents and reverses disease, why the heck wouldn't I want to put all this stuff in me, and as much of it as possible, and give myself the best chance of doing that? If anything, like you said, if it, especially coming into flu season, if you can eat these foods that actually have things known to boost your immunity and protect you, you will likely not get sick if you increase your raw foods, and make sure, of course, unless you're directly around someone that has it. But even then, you could end up still having that protection. It's like putting a layer of protection around your body, and that's what I find is so impressive. What about pasta noodles? Vaughn said, are they considered healthy, easy for our bodies to break down? So pasta is one of those things that I ate like a lot of, and it's not anything that you really have to cook. Like if you're a raw food person, or if you're on the fruit based diet, it's not something that I eat. However, like pasta is not as bad as the name it gets when you're talking about being vegan. You could
Remember
probably
our vegan spaghetti?
Yes, we actually got veggie spaghetti that actually tasted really good.
It
They
just
had it.
tastes like regular spaghetti.
Yeah, it was like made of like zucchini and spinach and things, and they actually made it in the noodles. Or even if you're having regular noodles, like if you're trying to like lose weight, I wouldn't recommend eating like, spaghetti every night, even though I did for quite some time. Didn't we? I got hooked on her spaghetti sauce. Oh my God. I saw speaking of
Spicy
doing it
meatball.
raw though, I saw who was it? Jillian, she has a channel, and she did this little, I think it was a short where she was showing her making her daughter um like this spaghetti. She took, like, I forget what vegetable she used, and she actually put it through the thing that makes the noodles, and created like like, what was it, like cucumbers or squat zucchini, maybe. You know how you can make your own noodles? It had to be something that you can eat raw. I bet it was cucumbers. And then she put like this, spaghetti sauce on top of it, and it was like cold, but I bet it was good. And I thought about your sauce, um even if you do cooked or, raw. To me, they don't have like, animal protein in them. So to me, anything that's not an animal protein or dairy is healthier. And like, so I think pasta, to me, a lot of people eat a lot of that on the vegan diet.
Mm-hmm.
They don't digest as well as fruit, and even vegetables don't digest as well. That's why I try to keep like all the seeded things in my diet. But it does digest, and is gives you nutrients better than other things.
Right.
I think that is, we've had a really good conversation. I'm so happy with you guys coming in the chat. Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you, Linda, for being here and putting in your thing. Dawn, you're going to keep us posted on your watermelon journey.
Yep. Most definitely. I'm gonna get back to eating all watermelon tomorrow. But I couldn't help it. I can't turn down sushi.
Plus, I brought her sushi roll. I couldn't get my own sushi without her. And then they sent me the hard sushi. I wonder if, oh, it's 9:07. They might, I think they said that it closes at like 9:15, but they'll keep us a credit if they're gone. I think they said the kitchen closes, so we'll see. But I have really enjoyed this. Dawn, you want to say anything else?
Anything else?
um, I
No,
feel blessed.
I really enjoyed it. I had a ball. I always love talking about this stuff. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Vaughn, for coming and hanging out yet again with Jen and I on this stream. And thank you for the support on the aftermarket and tomorrow be 90 Day Fiance on my channel at 8 o'clock if you guys want to come hang out for that.
Yes.
But yeah, Jen, I love it. I'm so proud of you, honey. I'm so proud of you. 90
I'm
days.
proud of
You're
you.
back to 90 days. Before, remember the first time you did it for 6 months? You were like, wow, wait a minute. I've already gone 3 months. And you've
Yeah,
done it again now. I'm so proud of you.
I get into it.
You do. You
And
inspire me. Listen, if you weren't the way that you are, it would be harder for me to be the way that I am. You know what I mean? I'm sure I could still pull it off to a point, but you make me strive to be way better because I've still have yet to reach the level that you've reached with it 4 years ago. So
And I think you gotta, like you said, everybody's on their own path. So I
that's
don't
it.
ever push her to eat a certain way. That's all like her decision. And she never says to me, like, oh, why don't you eat this or that? You know what I mean? We're kind of like, I think you have to be in a relationship respectful of each other's choices and lead by example. Eventually people want to do what they see as working, for you.
That's
Oh,
it.
you're welcome. Oh, uh, Vaughn says she said how she learned how to pick a sweet watermelon. What were you saying, Dawn? The dark, like
You know what? We were vegan. I mean, Misfit Vegan told us to look for the big yellow spot. That means it's got some ripeness to it and it should be nice and sweet. I've done that and I've gotten good watermelons like that. I've also gotten watermelons where there was no yellow spot and they were still sweet. So I don't know what the consensus is there because I've also gotten them where they were ripened and I opened it and it turned out to be like it was rotting. So I've gone to, okay, I don't want any yellow spot. I'm just going to get the green one. You know what I mean? And hopefully it's okay because I don't like really soft, mushy watermelon. And I like it to have a little bit of a crunch to it. So I just go for just the nice dark green. Yeah, I don't like it overly ripe.
yeah, I
So if you
think
see the yellow spot on it, that means it's depending on how big that yellow spot is how ripe it is. So a little yellow's not bad.
that's
That's
where it
whether
sits
it's
on
a
the ground. I think she was saying
yeah.
that
If
it.
it's a big yellow spot, that means it's been sitting there for a while, and chances are it's got some overripeness to it.
I'll share too with you. On your phone, there was a post that someone gave me about like how to look for the stripes and the different colors. That was very helpful too. And the avocado, we know how to do that, right? We know how to pick those out now. Just squeeze them, and if your finger will kind of mush into it a little bit, and it's not super hard, but it's not like mushy. That's how I like the avocados now are perfect, and cucumbers are pretty easy. I think, right?
Didn't
They're
we
not.
see somewhere where they were reconfiguring watermelons to be square?
Yeah, that was like this video from like China.
So you can pile them up in your car.
Yeah, they were like putting them, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, please don't manipulate the watermelon. That would really freak me out to see a square watermelon or a square cucumber or anything square that's a vegetable like that normally is different. I don't know. That's just
A
weird.
circle.
Like that's why I don't like the corn because of them manipulating that GMO or whatever they call it. I just watched a video on that, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna
But
wait until
the
I
cool
can.
thing is, I don't think they're manipulating it as much as they're growing it in something that's square. They're forcing it to grow in a square
Yeah.
container, so it's shaping it that way.
Maybe they yeah, that I think it was so that they could package it in the trucks. Like could you imagine if all the fruits started coming that way? Like we had square
Right?
tomatoes and square lettuce and thank you so much. Vaughn said it's very educational and Linda said Jen is so encouraging to everyone. Thank you, Linda. That really means a lot. I really appreciate you both being here. I really am thankful for that and Dawn too for helping me get these streams together and your support and encouragement. You
You're
guys
welcome.
are all awesome. I'm just gonna sit here and talk about how everybody's awesome all day. Forget eating. even though I'm really hungry and I'm really getting tired too. And I know you are. Thank you guys for the excellent conversation. And Dawn,
Thank
for
you.
your like recipes, I'm telling you, you really became like a vegan chef over here with all your advice and tips. We got to put a stream together just with that.
Get yourselves 3 Hass avocados, chop up like a half a cup of red onion, squeeze a half a lime in there, and cut up maybe a half a jalapeno and like a bunch of like a nice handful of cilantro and chop it up. Mix all that together with about a tablespoon of sea salt, and you have got yourself chipotle guacamole.
Nice. That's the secret
There
recipe.
was a
Only
Chipotle
here
worker
you
that
can
put a
find that.
video out on YouTube. That's exactly how they make it, and it tastes just like it.
Yep, I remember when you found that and you were like, "No way, this tastes
I'm
just."
never buying it again, and I haven't.
It was difficult now to spend that money once you find it, and a
I'm
lot
gonna
of the
spend $10 on a container of guacamole when I can take that same $10 and make myself a week's worth.
and store bought guacamole. I didn't like. Sometimes they would put too much like peppers and all that stuff in it. You know, like I don't. I never liked stuff that was too doctored up. Like keep it simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is a lot better. That is impressive. What else you got? You gonna give any more recipes?
That's all I got tonight.
Okay, we'll find some more. Everyone, click and get the meal plan if you want to read a little more about my journey and everything that we eat and how to do raw. If you want to do it for a couple of days, as a cleanse, or if you want to do plant based, that way I'll have the if you click on the meal plan, I'll post in here in the description in a little bit, or I'll put it in the comments later if you happen to return to the page, and that way I'll be able to send you email and recipes and anything else that you might need. You can reply to me and ask for it. So thank you. And oh, even on the bottom of the meal plan, I even put a little worksheet on there where you can put like your starting weight and how you feel and a little daily thing. So I think you'll like it with like your goals and everything like that. So thank you, Dawn. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Dawn and Linda, our awesome, excellent crowd. I will see you guys next Meatless Monday. Should we? Do you want to do the poem, or you want to just
Yes, ma'am. We could do the poem.
you doing it or me? I always
I'll
mess
do
this
it.
stuff up. That's why you're the producer, right? Extraordinaire.
I
Hey,
love you guys. See you guys
look,
tomorrow.
I can't wait to eat. Yummy.
We'll make some money tomorrow. I'm a vegan. That's why I trade Apple.
Good luck on the trip. If we can become a plant based nation, we could get off all our medication. We want to keep doing things like we were, donating to organizations claiming to fight for a cure. But the cure is already in front of our eyes, and it's time for us to wake up and realize. We may not want to believe we have control. It's easier for most of us to metaphorically live in a hole. So many stories of how being plant-based has reversed disease. It's funny that we can't stop eating meat with ease. We want to continue to look for the answer, yet people have reversed even cancer. I think finally as a nation, it's time to give people the truthful information. Your hard-earned money is what you pay to take your medicine day after day. Sadly, there's a lot of money being made in people staying sick. This has to finally make something click. We have to have this revelation that a cure means not selling medication. There's so many myths and misconceptions, but it's eye-opening once you make the connections. That meat and dairy are causing insulin resistance, it's not sugar and carbs causing diabetes, for instance. Scientifically, our bodies are not set up like carnivores. We model those who eat plants. If you can heal, why not give it a chance? You follow your car's owner's manual for what gas it takes, yet for our bodies without care, we feed it steaks. That's like giving an unleaded car diesel to drink. Our bodies will reject it, don't you think? I'm not here to tell you what to do, but to be a voice, that when it comes to your health, you have the choice. With just a few adjustments to your diet, I can help if you just want to try it. I've found testimonials that people have reversed every ailment and disease by simply eliminating meat, eggs, milk, and cheese. There's a tasty substitute for all the things you already eat. You can get all your nutrients without eating meat. Save the animals, the environment, and yourself just by making a few different selections off the grocery store shelf. It's never too late. I've seen it work at all age ranges. It's my passion, and I can't wait to hear about your positive health changes. It's time for the world to wake up and heal, and you can start with your very next meal.